are now listening to the number one podcast in the multiverse with your hosts Azrin and Alfika.
This is All the Way with A&A.
What is up, everybody? The NBA is back, and so is our podcast, All the Way with A&A. I'm Azrin, this is Alfiko. Let's get into it. What's good, man?
Let's get it.
Yes.
NBA is back. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, and if you can see the slide right now, it's a beautiful image of one Kawhi Leonard and LeBron James in the first game that we're going to recap. Lakers Clippers last Friday. What did you think of it?
It's always me who starts the talk. Like, let's switch it up.
Okay.
I want to hear your side of it.
All right. So wait, basically every Lakers game that we're gonna talk about, I think it's only right that if you talk about Lakers, I myself want to start it. But when we talk about Celtics, I think you gotta be taking the lead on that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Even like after this, we're gonna get into a Lakers Raptors game, which I'm. Okay. Wait. That's besides the point. So the first one is Lakers versus Clippers. Man, did you see how close that game is? 103 to 101. It's too close for comfort, bro. I don't want to think bad about. It's the first game. It's they're starting to get warmed up, but they're barely holding on. I know LeBron shut down Kawhi and PG at the end of the game, but what if he didn't? What if he didn't? PG hits that three and it's game. So
what if he didn't? What if he got boxed out in the last second?
Exactly.
Take that shot.
Yeah. So that's why. That's what one of the things that immediately jumped at me was how close did they get into this? Because from the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, they have a comfortable lead, but then they decide to drop down their guard. So Clippers came back and they were neck and neck for most of the fourth quarter, and they barely made it. They got outscored in the third quarter. Outscored bad in the second quarter by 10 points, and just enough to hold them off. But like you said, it's even. They won one apiece. We won one. So I think from the next game, whenever we meet again, it's going to be different. It's going to be the show.
Okay. You already took some points already.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, you can recap.
I was expecting you to be like Shannon Sharp, where he says he believes in LeBron, like he doesn't foresee anything bad. Well, it turns out we both believe so, because okay, I want to start with the Swedish Western Conference Finals. Yeah, Western Conference. Let's see. Where's Houston is what? Okay, Rockets are the fourth now. Okay.
Right.
That's bad for you because you meet them in the second round, most likely, and they're having. And their small ball plan is working for them, and I think you lost to them like 3 times already. So that should be a concern for you, the Rockets. That's why I'm worried for you, because if you play like this with the Toronto Raptors, can you imagine how you're gonna play with the Rockets?
Oh.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. You're right about that. You make a good point.
Yeah, so that's one. And the other one was the Clippers were not full strength. They didn't have Montrezl Harrell and Lou Williams.
Yeah.
We should have won by double digits.
It was it's supposed to be a blowout, man.
Yeah, so it's a good blowout. AD at 34. I think LeBron at 16. Kawhi and PG had, I think PG had 30. Kawhi at 28. About the same. But they weren't full strength.
They were not.
Imagine if they were full strength. maybe you would have been blown up.
Oh crap, man. Yeah.
like of course it's just hypothetical because what I'm actually saying did not happen because of unforeseen circumstances.
Mm.
But yeah, we just should. I mean, I'm worried for you, but I think playoff LeBron will be maybe enough to topple the Rockets.
Yeah.
We'll see though. We'll see though.
Yeah, true, man. When you talk about playoff LeBron, when he goes what he calls zero dark 30 mode, when he shuts off all social media, he doesn't go on Instagram, he doesn't go on Twitter, he just basically focuses his energy on the game. You get to see performances like what he did to Toronto when he was in the Cavs. He basically turned the city into LeBronto, which is he owned every single time they met Cavs. Cavs was just a lower tier team than the Lakers. He owned the Raptors. But obviously now Raptors are champions for a reason. They held them down. But we're going to get into that later. But your playoff LeBron is going to be scary if he ever shows up. I'm just worried that he doesn't show up.
Playoff LeBron is like formidable. First, like you brought up the point about his history with the Raptors. He always either sweeps them or like puts them to shame in their home court, of course. But we haven't really seen what kind of player AD can be. We know he's like a top 5 player, but he's been on like all his career he's been on a mediocre team, so we haven't really seen that peak yet. Maybe it would be just either the same or better.
Yeah.
But if you want to beat like the teams like the Rockets and the Clippers, you need to beat the best.
That's true, man. He was the point scoring leader on the Lakers in that game, and scoring 34, only beaten by, well, no, not really anybody, because the Clippers, the highest scoring scorer is Paul George with 30 points. Who actually, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard showed up with a good 28, 30 points each. So people saying that they're not really working well together, they kind of showed different in this game.
Paul George is healthier now.
Yeah.
He's healthy now, and he's carrying.
That's true. Yeah.
And then today he scored 28. Imagine he scores like this in the playoffs.
Consistently.
Maybe 40, like 1 point, one game.
That's scary.
It'll be entertaining to watch, but it'll be painful for the
for fans. So yeah, man, that was the Celtics game.
Yeah, so we both agree on that.
Yeah.
Lakers fans should be concerned. They also need to put more. I think they should put Caruso less and J.R. Smith more.
Yeah.
I think they're not good. I don't think they're giving him a chance. Yeah. And they also need to put Kuzma more. Kuzma in the first game of the restart, he played well, right?
Oh, you're right. Kuzma, underrated in that performance. Yeah. I agree. Kuzma and J.R. Smith are, they don't get as many minutes as they should in the game, I believe, because they when they put on the floor, when their number is called, they do show up sometimes. And that night, Lakers Clippers game was one of those nights, man. Caruso, I agree that with 7 points on the board, he really shouldn't. Maybe it's like his first game after a while, but he's not the Caruso that we saw from before the season restart. Even Dion Waiters, a veteran from Miami Heat, who is now in the Lakers, he did 11 points. He showed up well, but yeah, Caruso, man, you got to sit down sometimes.
Because I think it's hard to maybe I'm thinking there's the reason why they're doing this maybe because they're keeping him for extended minutes because he's been in the team longer. He knows the ins and outs, the strategy, everything, the experience maybe. Dion Waiters and J.R. Smith just recently joined.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's good to
Maybe
see
that's why.
Waiters in a Lakers jersey because he put on a show while he was in the Heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even in the first game,
Yeah,
he,
yeah.
he played mad.
He did. Yeah, man.
He played mad.
Yeah. What else are the stats that we can cover? They out rebounded the Clippers. You know, offensive rebounds, even total rebounds in general. But again, man, if you barely hold off the Clippers by 2 points, that really doesn't say much, man. Yeah.
Dude, like you saw the game, right? Like one quarter they were ahead like double digits, like the Lakers, and then the next quarter the Clippers were.
That's when you texted me, like, you know, LeBron blew a double-digit lead. I was like, oh man, are you ready? Are you serious? Like already? It's only like this early in the game, and you're gonna blow a lead. At least, nah. I couldn't believe it, and that was the day of Eid where I couldn't watch the game, so I kept up to the highlights on Twitter. But this is crazy.
Dude, legit, like when the game started, it was like already Azan. Yeah. So my mom woke me up like, hey, go. Luckily, it wasn't that long.
Yeah, we could still come back, and it's still on. Yeah.
The game was like 2 hours.
Yeah, I swear, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was worthwhile.
What if it went to
So,
overtime, man? What if we went to overtime? Do you think Lakers could have pulled them off, much longer?
Paul George will score 50 and they would have won.
I agree. Also, the sad part is I agree.
Paul George would have scored 50.
Yeah, he looked like
Again,
he was on a mission that night. Yeah. Yeah.
The thing is, like, they're not even trying to guard him from the tree. Like, one time, Paul George was just like going from the half court to the 3-point line. No one was guarding him.
No one.
So Brown was like, "What? Why is no one guarding him? I'm guarding Kawhi. He's guarding some other prick."
They tried to wave him off, kind of like they didn't trust that he can make the shot. So then he just, they left him a bit of disrespect space, and he made him pay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's all.
Yeah, that's
The
it.
Clippers
Really,
are dangerous. The
Yes.
Clippers are dangerous.
They're
and
dangerous. They're dangerous.
And people shouldn't sleep on them.
Yeah, man. Speaking of
I
shouldn't sleep
agree.
on them. Yeah, that's true. What did you want to say?
No, nothing.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. So I wanted to say that, speaking of not sleeping on them, your team has been going through a bit of a tough patch, man.
Okay, let me preface what I'm about to say. I've been saying this to you, even to Kusita as well, before the restart, that we are going to I want at least my team to go to the conference finals. Now, when I look at other teams, Joel Embiid's now healthy. His first game back, he scored 40. I was like, oh my god. And we're facing them first round.
Yeah.
Oh my god, no. God, no. First round, he scored 40. First game. I mean, we'll talk about the Philly game, of course, and after this. But, yeah, the Celtics are, as you said, they're having some issues. Not really issues, it's just one issue, is their health. Kemba's playing. Kemba's not playing restricted minutes. So Jason in his first game had only 5 points.
Only 5 points. Yes.
I don't know, right? I don't like that 5 points were just not acceptable for me. I was so not happy. If we had more, if we had 16, we would have won. I can tell you that. Kemba played less minutes than him and we scored more. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. He missed every shot. Like it was just like when Kyrie never left. But we move on.
Did you see what the
But-
people were saying on Twitter? Like, oh, to be fair to Jason Tatum, 5 points in the first game, and the difference between the most recent game where he scored 34 is because he had a haircut, and I thought it was funny, man. He cut his hair, and then it's like, oh, okay.
Like people made the same joke when Kyrie was on the team last season when he had that broccoli hair.
Broccoli hair.
You know, the first, I think the first preseason game, like he missed every shot, like he wasn't himself. When he cut his hair, Uncle Drew came back.
Uncle Drew.
But yeah, you know, maybe the hair is reflected. I'm not really wrong.
Extra weight, aerodynamics, as Kevin would say.
Yeah, but, maybe it messed up his shot pattern or the shot form.
So yeah, 5 points in the first game against the Bucks, where they did get beat 119 to 112. They got beat by 7, which is unacceptable. But again, it's against Giannis and the Bucks, so yeah.
Well, like it wasn't acceptable. But I this is what I concluded from the game anyway. We weren't full strength. Kemba wasn't, as I said before, he wasn't playing the usual minutes that he's accustomed to. So maybe if he played more minutes, he could have scored 40. I believe that. People might be, oh, because you're mad. I don't think I'm mad. He actually did score 40 points against the Bucks before the restart even happened. It was even in their home court, so
Right.
this just comes to show that it can happen. So yeah, but I still believe in Jalen Brown. Jalen Brown has been stepping up. Like, I think he practices his shot more. I think during the break, I think he's shooting more from 3 and he's thinking more.
Yeah, he
So
is
now-
consistent. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe he can be a third option in terms of scoring. Defensively, he's been stepping up as well.
Right.
So Jason Tatum can rely on him.
Yeah.
It's just he came up short during that game. So, but now let's move on to today's game. Do you know how many points did we were like were the Trailblazers trailing at one point? Like, what do you think? How many points do you think they were trailing at the most by? Like, how many points do you think?
All right. So since it's the most recent game, we don't have a graphic for it up on the screen, but
No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just asking you. Like,
yeah. So I'm gonna just throw a
Guess.
number
Guess.
into the clouds. They were trailing by double digits, I guess, maybe 10. Yeah.
So you think the number of points they were trailing the most by
Yes.
the Trailblazers was 10?
It's 10. Yeah.
The most.
The
You,
most.
the most, do you think, right?
The most. Yeah.
They were trailing by 24 points and you beat them by 4.
I'm just looking at the stats right now. You just beat them by 4. Yeah.
You beat them by 4, but towards the end we were ahead by 24. 24.
Man,
24.
I swear, man. They made a final minute push, which was short but not good enough.
Lillard was just on fire, and then that guy Nurkic is back now from his injury.
This guy.
There's
Man.
a problem.
Yeah.
There's a problem.
2 players on the Blazers scored 30. You know how dangerous that is when you're against that kind of level of team. That's crazy.
Now you know 4 people on that team can score 40 if they want to.
I swear, Melo is there too.
McCollum,
Yeah.
McCollum, Melo, Lillard, and that guy Nurkic.
This team is scary, bro.
and they're ninth place. I don't understand.
Yeah, they're about to make a statement now. I have a feeling, but again,
They should be eighth, but they're behind, like half a game. But we're not talking about them. We're talking about ourselves. I don't care.
Okay.
Right now, I want to vent.
Okay, let's vent. I mean, vent about Jason Tatum, who did well, better than the last Bucks game.
Yeah, I mean, like if you think of a guy who averaged 34 points since the All-Star break and before the restart, and then coming back, he scored only 5 points. The thing is, like, they weren't even trying hard. Like, I don't like, especially from the perimeter. Like in the paint, like I give you that. Giannis and Brook Lopez were not giving him the benefit of the doubt. But from the perimeter, like, they weren't even trying. Like, we kept on missing. Like, And the other thing is, I don't know if you noticed, Gordon Hayward will leave the bubble, I think, before the playoffs.
Why is that?
He's having a kid.
Oh damn! I didn't know that.
So I don't know how long will that take.
Yeah, he's gonna take a
So
bit of
he-
a parental leave.
No, because if he goes right, that will take some time. And then when he comes back, it will take, I think, 10 days. And by that time, we're already in the middle of playoffs.
Yeah.
And I don't think losing one person is a good idea for us in the playoffs.
Losing him.
Especially,
Yeah.
especially when we're playing against the Sixers,
Yeah, that is
because they're healthy now.
that is scary. He contributed well in that Blazers game. Apparently, 22
Yeah,
points. Yeah.
He's a fourth option.
Yeah.
Fifth option is anybody really. Maybe Marcus Smart
Yep.
if he wants to.
If he wants to, but he just scored 3 points. Enes Kanter can be next best thing.
If Inas, like, I don't know, because he played for the Trailblazers, right?
Oh,
last
he did.
year
Yeah.
In the playoffs. If some version of him is there in the playoffs, when he's gone, Hayward is gone, I'm happy. And then of course we win, of course.
Of course. Yeah.
So
Hmm.
it's just a bunch of ifs. Before I was so confident that Kemba was gonna be healthy, Jason Tatum was gonna catch on fire. What I didn't expect was Jaylen Brown stepping up,
Right.
which he did. The thing is, it's hard to switch, because the primary option, because now the primary option is Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
If we switch to Jason Jaylen Brown, we'll put more pressure on him, and then maybe he cannot take it, and then GG.
Mhm.
We lose first round.
That's true. If you guys are out in the first round, what can that say about the Celtics? I mean, you guys were literally the more scarier team before the NBA shut down for a while. But now, if you get kicked out the first round, it's gonna be embarrassing.
Yeah,
Yeah. But which I don't believe
I
will
agree.
happen. Yeah, it won't happen.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, but I don't want it to happen, of
Yeah.
course. But
Yeah, I mean, I can say the same about the Lakers. They just lost the game to the reigning champs. Where apparently, okay, they're the reigning champs, but if the reigning champs are going to be the reason that the Lakers don't get their first championship together, then it's still a loss for everybody in that team.
well, the Lakers team is kind of different in a sense because you already have the two top 5 players in one team, and then your issue is just your support. You need to keep in priority who is
The support.
the,
Yeah.
the
yeah.
support, the
Yeah.
proper support, because Rondo is out, every Bradley is out. You got a couple of guys which you're not using, which you're not using,
True.
and then and using the guys that are confused.
Yeah.
I think they're confused.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think yours is issues to identify who's the support really.
Yeah. And yours is
And
more
for
of
us-
a consistency.
For us,
Yeah.
it's like a health.
A health thing. Yeah.
And focus. And yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really. That's all I want to talk about. I don't want to dwell too much on
Yeah,
it.
let's
because-
not dwell too much. Yeah. Okay. So if it makes you feel any better, I want to move back to that Lakers game. Oh, let's have a Lakers and Raptors conversation just to make Lakers look bad for a bit, because what is that game, man? After the game, LeBron said, "Well, you know, they're champions. They're champions for a reason." Yeah, but you're a champion yourself for a reason. But there's no excuse if you lose to the Raptors, man.
He actually said that.
He did, yeah. They're champions for a reason. That's what he said. But
They were
again,
champions because how the starters were injured. What do you mean?
but this game I did see, well, not entirely live, but I saw more of it than I did the Lakers Clippers game, and I made an interesting note to myself. Kyle Lowry, right? Kyle Lowry, the short guy, the point guard on the Raptors. If
14 rebounds.
you know what, I said this and I'm like, I believe this is a true fact, a statement. Kyle Lowry can grow 2 feet in length or in height when he's up against the big guys. He makes himself look so much bigger in the game when he's fighting LeBron, he's fighting AD. Man, it's crazy to see a guy with a big heart. Reminds me of Allen Iverson in the game where I mean in his era when he was not the tallest player around, but he showed heart, man. He can grow inches when he's got that kind of heart. But it's crazy. 33
Yeah, like
points.
I've said this like in the finals game last season. Yeah, I've said this. And a lot of people have been saying the same thing. Kyle Lowry he plays how he's supposed to play.
Mm-hmm.
He knows like he knows he's vertically challenged.
Nice.
So I don't want to
Yeah.
hurt his feelings. Not like he's watching the show.
Yeah, that is smooth though. Vertically challenged. You're right. Yeah.
He knows, like as opposed to other players, you know, on his team. I think he's taller than, like, for example, it's like 5'11".
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or 6 feet, I don't know.
Even you're taller than VanVleet.
No, I'm the same size as Van Fleet.
Oh, okay.
I'm the same size.
Okay.
yeah, so he's not afraid to take charges.
Yeah. Not afraid to take
Usually
charges.
people like, I don't think Steph Curry does it once in a while. Kemba sometimes also, but not as much as Kyle Lowry. That's why they played well in the finals.
That's true. He took
He
charge.
was not even against the 76ers. He one time. Let me rephrase. He was scared, but he knows what he's doing is right, so he did it anyway.
What a
I
boss.
think, one time he was guarding Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is like 1 feet above
I
him.
swear, yeah.
Like literally, he's 7'1", he's 6'1". Like, do the math.
This guy plays more
Like-
than his height, you know. He plays more than his height.
I don't know what that move is called. Like that move when you're putting your ass on the stomach, you know.
Oh, post up.
You know, when you-
post up.
Post
yeah,
up,
yeah.
post up. Like he was doing that with
That's crazy.
Kyle Lowry. He was not afraid. He was not afraid because he knows like one bump from the ass, he will topple over. Like he knew that.
Hey man, he's from which city is he from? He doesn't
Philly, from Philly, someone. From Philly.
he doesn't know fear, man. He doesn't know fear.
Yeah,
He's from
from
Philly. He
Philly.
doesn't know fear.
Like so Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart, that guy is afraid of it.
Yeah, he's afraid of everything. So yeah, I mean, he pulled up a 33-point, a double performance in rebounds, man. In rebounds, that's crazy. Not even in assists, in rebounds. But assists though, double goes to Fred VanVleet, which is good to see a fellow guy pulling his weight in his team, man. That's nice.
It's gonna be exciting to see where Kyle Lowry goes. Not next season, but the season after that.
Oh,
Maybe he'll retire. I don't know.
he will retire as one of the greatest Raptors ever, already bringing a championship to the team, to the country, but also sticking with one team from the beginning till the end, kind of like Kobe did. And Dirk,
Well,
yeah.
like this is a fun fact for you. Toronto was not his first team. Do you know that?
Oh wait, it wasn't?
No, it was Memphis. It was Memphis.
Did he get traded in the draft, after the draft?
I don't know. I think he was drafted in the Memphis. Let me check.
But yeah, and then after that he just went, to the Raptors all the way, right? He was Grizzlies, was it? Selected by the Memphis Grizzlies, yeah.
Yeah, so Grizzlies and Rockets and then
Traded to Toronto, which he called home, man. That's crazy. He spent 3 years in Grizzlies, another 3 years in the Rockets, and then from there he made history.
first round pick.
Yeah, which is crazy, right?
Yeah, he's gonna be Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that game, Raptors Lakers, I'll tell you who didn't show up. Kyle Kuzma, well, he did, but Danny Green, notably absent, man. 0 points. But he was there to get rebounds, and only 3 of them. But Danny Green who was also, he contributed some 6 points in the Lakers Clippers game. But in this one, it's like, where is he? There's no such thing as a Danny Green on our team. I was so pissed. Like, this guy's your sniper, man. Your easy money sniper, but he wasn't there.
That's the thing with Danny Green. Like, he will only make rhythm when he creates rhythm. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't shy away from making a three, but he's not always consistent.
Yeah, maybe he choked because it's like, oh no, I'm against my old team. Maybe I shouldn't really, give 100%.
Yeah, but this is why we'll never give him any credit for winning the championship, because 2 reasons why they won that finals game. One is because half of the starters in the other team were injured. Kawhi and not Danny Green. That's why. That's why he had only one good game in that series.
Yes.
He had like that game 3 or 4. No, I'm mistaken.
And in the championship clinching game, he made a crucial mistake, if you remember.
Oh yeah, he threw away that JR moment.
Seriously, man.
Yeah, this guy, man. We were playing the Rockets on Friday.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
You want to do a show that day as well.
Yeah, but oh man, a Friday show about basketball or a Friday show about movies? That's the question, man.
No, because you're playing the Rockets.
Yeah, which is quite.
I mean, it's up to you. I mean, I don't. Maybe we can talk about it like the week after.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Yeah, because it's if it's a Friday, then the Monday after that is still considered like this show. Yeah. But oh man, that's going to be an interesting game. I'm going to keep my eyes on Westbrook, because Westbrook is not playing around, man. He's got a new name on the back of his jersey. I'm scared of him. I'm scared of him.
You should be.
Yeah.
If you're facing him, you're facing them in the semifinals. If that is well, I don't think the Jazz or the Thunder is coming up anytime soon. I
Wh-
don't think so.
When is the next Celtics game? Tomorrow at 6:30. Heat Celtics. What do you know about the Heat? I mean, you're not really worried about the Heat, right? It's really what I'm looking forward to is the next two games after that. Celtics Raptors. Oh man. Oh
I
man.
hate you, man.
Oh man.
I'm not full health. Why are you caring?
You know
Well,
what?
that's pretty much the second round. Like, technically.
I think I wanna do this show on Monday so we can cover both Raptors Celtics and Lakers Rockets together in one show.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So we can at least you can vent about your team. Win or lose, you can vent about them, and I can vent about mine.
I want. You won this week. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
It's like we're playing our own fantasy, like Celtics Lakers fantasy.
Any Liverpool matchups you wanted to talk about, Melo?
Yeah, I mean, just his noted, performance is how clutch he is in the end of games. He's still clutch, and people are calling him washed up. Like everybody's doing that nowadays with the class of 2003. But as he showed, man, they can step up at the final minutes if they need to.
Hello?
Oh yeah, did you hear any of that?
No.
Wow.
You want A1.
I spoke a bit, man. It's on the record, man. But
Alright, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
okay, yeah,
I'll
but
watch it later. I'll watch it later.
did you want to say something about Melo? No.
Well, I knew you played. You're talking about that Trailblazer game, right? Versus
Grizzlies.
Memphis, was it?
Yes,
How much did they won overtime, right?
they did. They win overtime by 5 points, but it's Melo's performance that is like, again, I say notable because people are calling him washed up. People are calling him old school, but 21 points in an overtime game, showing up at the final minutes. It's a sight to see, man. I feel like watching the 2013 Melo in 2020, which is nice.
Here's why I think that's, of course, when everyone knows, I mean, you know this, why people are calling him washed up. I think ever since he left New York,
Yep.
to OKC, was it?
Yep.
He wasn't playing well at all.
Mm.
Like, let's be honest.
They
And
were-
actually, it's not really his fault because he was forced to play. What number? Like, I think it was a fourth option.
Yep.
It was Westbrook, PG. So who's the third one? Robertson, maybe. I don't know, but he said he was playing fourth option.
Steven Adams over him also, like literally everybody over him.
Yeah, because they were younger.
Yeah.
Everybody. And they were on the come up,
Yeah.
He wasn't performing as he was supposed to. I think that's unfair to him. Because can you imagine, like, from being first option in New York, to be fair, like, what option did he have? Like, he was in New York, and he was the only option.
He was, yeah. It was either him or Jeremy Lin, but Jeremy Lin is now AWOL, nowhere to be found in China.
So they went China and made
yeah.
Corona somehow.
Yeah, man. But now Melo in the Blazers is showing signs of his New York traits coming back.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So that's all I want to say really about Melo. Like Melo, Chris Paul, LeBron all came up on the same draft class, and I don't see any signs of all three of them slowing up, man.
I want him to join you guys next season.
Man, banana boat man is coming soon.
Yeah, because no one that remarkable. I don't think anyone else that remarkable will join. Because like other than Melo,
Yeah.
maybe Giannis because he's a free agent. So we'll see.
Okay.
That also depends if he wins this.
That reminds me of speaking of having two friends or big players joining each other. LeBron did try that with Dwayne Wade by signing him to the Cavs. Remember that short stint last season where he was no, not last season, but the season he was last with the Cavs. He was number 9.
Yeah.
It didn't work out, man. People were so hyped, like, oh, they made an announcement. Dwayne Wade's on the Cavs now. They're gonna be like Miami 2.0, but it wasn't even Miami 1.1. It's like it didn't turn out to be the thing that they wanted. But that's kind of sad, man.
Yeah, what do you what did you think of that?
I felt excited, man. I was a Heat fan because of the big 3.
No. Like, what made you think that it didn't work out? Like, I think I know what you think.
Okay, well, to not to like elaborate on it much, because there's really not much to say. Performance-wise, few games didn't really show much of Dwayne Wade's presence on the team. Eventually, they decide to mutually say, you know what, bro, I don't think it's going to work out. I think you should go back to the Heat. And then he retired in the Heat. He did a whole farewell tour, which is, nice and stuff. But while he was in the Cavs, he was literally the bench warmer, almost. He wasn't a star player, yeah.
Okay. Did you know all that is because of J.R. Smith? You know that?
All that was because of J.R. Smith?
Yeah.
Why was that?
Because when he joined the Cavs, I think it was the season where they had the new uniform and everything, right?
Oh, right. Yeah. Yes.
That season, I think he also started, right? He became a starting guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And prior to him joining, who was this starter guard? Like, I think it was Kyrie, J.R. Smith, LeBron, Kevin Love, and then Tristan Thompson, right? It was like the usual.
Oh, man, I missed that time. Yeah.
So can you imagine how J.R. Smith felt when he was put on the bench instead of, he was put on the bench and then Dwayne Wade was put on the starting lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also that year also, and then that year also was the year that Isaiah Thomas was also traded, and also Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like theoretically, you guys should have won all the way. Can you imagine Isaiah Thomas, Dwayne Wade, Derrick Rose, LeBron James?
Actually, yeah.
And you didn't win the championship. Probably you had some like outside, off the court issues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And also because of ego and all that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So that was the number. So I didn't really. That's why I didn't put all the blame on Dwayne Wade. At least he tried.
He tried. Yeah.
Right? He actually even took the initiative to tell the coaching staff, okay, if J.R. Smith I'll do it this way, then I will go to the bench, make him a starter again.
Yes.
He was, and then the trade suddenly happened.
Yeah, and to be fair, we knew he was slowing down in age, so that's why he ended up retiring the next season.
Yeah, I think that was also another
Yeah.
reason why he got traded because of his age.
Yeah. Oh man, speaking of age now, the guy LeBron has a gray in his beard. Did you see that? Like now he's rocking a gray beard. Like, man, I didn't know that he was that old. I didn't know you can grow a gray beard in 35, 36.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I was like, hey, you're not even 40 and then you have gray hair.
Yeah, he's really looking
Yeah.
old, man. Shit.
He takes care of his body as well, so that, like,
He's gonna be
I don't
Uncle Drew. Literally Uncle Drew with a good body and a strong physique, but he has a gray hair.
Uncle Braun.
Uncle Braun.
And then, of course, the Philly game.
Right.
What happened that game? Do you know?
Which Philly game are we talking about?
Well, lost.
The last Philly game.
Yeah, the only game they had.
Okay. A bit, I don't know, wait, what to say about that game?
They allowed one guy to score 53.
Oh, right. Oh, man, that's what I want to talk about. Yeah, the first 50-point game in the bubble. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is embarrassing because there, the Pacers, there was one highlight or one moment in the game where they showed literally no respect to, was it Ben Simmons? Like they just waved him off, and then he shot a three over their face, and then he waved him off back.
Oh, yeah, I think 3 people fouled out, right? This
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's true.
But 53
Oh.
points allowed, that's crazy. You let a guy called TJ Warren break the NBA bubble record against your Sixers team, man. That's not you, I mean, against a Sixers team with Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Al Horford. But Al Horford didn't do much. But Tobias Harris was the second highest scorer in that game.
Yeah, so. Yeah, but regardless, Joel Embiid got 40, Tobias Harris got 30.
If he wasn't,
They're healthy now.
yeah, they're healthy now. Yeah, Joel Embiid's 41.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the 53 on the other team, he would have made the headlines.
Yeah, they like imagine they lost by 2, and TJ Warren still scored 53.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. But he carried Pacers to the victory. Because look at the difference between the second highest scorer, 15, bro. the next guy who contributed at least to some sense is twice as low, more than twice lower than you. That's crazy. You can eat him up twice and still
3
outscore.
times or more.
Yeah.
3 more times at least.
Yeah, it was one of these nights where if you're hot, man. What to do?
20 from 29 from the field. You let him score 20 times.
Oh, man.
And you have 53. 4 fouls. Maybe we can use him. Maybe.
Yeah. Are you still scared of the Sixers now that you see this? No.
Yeah, I'm concerned, not scared,
Yeah.
because we've beaten them before. We've beaten them before when we were not full strength. Remember, I think it was the first season I started watching. Kyrie was out. Who else was out? Oh yeah, Mark was out for a while as well. He joined like late that series, and we beat them 4-1. Can you imagine? 4-1.
That's true. Yeah.
But the difference is we don't have that same defense. That is not that same. but you can take them. The only if you can play like what Houston was doing, you can play small ball. We're playing small ball, but Jason Tatum keeps on missing. That frustrates me. Because if one guy only is the primary option, we need multiple guys who can be primary option. Now theoretically we have 4: Tatum, Brown, Walk, Kemba, and Gordon. Gordon will be out indefinitely. Kemba is playing restricted minutes. Brown is figuring out. Tatum is GG.
Oh, yeah.
He plays when he wants to.
Man,
And I'm concerned.
just off topic for a bit, but talking about previous games compared to the restart, did you also notice that with the lack of fans in the stands, they now put on-screen virtual fans, which is funny, man. Like the things that sometimes happens on those fan screens. It's funny way in the I don't know what I can't think of. I'm blanking now on in the game that even the virtual fans left early. It was so bad that game, and it's so it's so funny, man.
I'll tell you one example.
Yeah.
Paul Pierce. They usually Paul Pierce.
The Paul Pierce reaction. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, when they threw away like a comfortable lead, like he was just slouching.
He was slouching, man, with his face. I bet that was your reaction as well.
Yeah, I'm happy you won still for.
Yeah. Oh man, he really
Come
was
on,
sick of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get to hear the sounds of the crowd at least, so that the players can feel like there's an atmosphere around. Otherwise, it's like a practice gym. It feels like they're playing a scrimmage, not a real full season
I
championship.
agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
It kind of feels
Yeah.
like how normal game feels,
mm.
like a normal stadium.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's more screeching than the cheering.
Yeah, more screeching. Yeah.
Yeah, usually you hear less screeching. It's still
Yeah.
fine.
Like imagine the thunderous crowd in a finals game. You can still hear the screeches, but now now you can hear only screeches.
Imagine like let's say your team won, and then instead of the crowd cheering, you hear LeBron.
Only that. Only him.
Only him cheering,
Yeah.
and then no one else in
True.
the crowd.
No hype. Like when he did a dunk, when he dunked, like he did a great getaway dunk, and also the chase down block he did on Kyle Lowry. If it was a crowd, it would have gone wild, man. But now it's like everybody, literally nobody, maybe the team only in the bench.
Even the team sometimes like, oh, it's just a normal LeBron thing to win.
Yeah. It's like, any other teams do.
Even I can do that. Like, but you don't need Dwight Howard.
Dwight
I
Howard.
can do that.
Yeah. Man. All right. So, any other thing that you want to touch upon?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, because Raptors done. That's it, really. Nothing more.
We did mention that we wanted to go to maybe a bit of playoff discussion.
Do you want to talk about anything?
I feel like we've already unknowingly covered playoffs because of while we're talking about Lakers and Celtics, we also touched on their playoff potential. So, yeah.
We will have a struggle.
Yeah.
If you struggle, it makes sense because Western Conference is tough.
It is.
Eastern Conference is also tough to do. At least the top 6, but Western Conference is all 8. All 8 of them.
Yeah. Not much happening in the Eastern Conference because it's all dominated by the first two. maybe 3 because Celtics I put them in the fight. But other than that, it's just anybody's game from down there.
I would say top 6 because Pacers are not mental, but
Not mental, yeah,
but they're a good team.
yeah.
76ers are healthy now.
Okay.
Even the Bucks haven't won against the Heat yet at all this year. You know
Right.
that?
You know what? When you say it like that, that means
And
yeah.
they're facing them in the semifinals.
Oh yeah,
They
they
will
are.
struggle.
Yeah. So okay,
You
it's
know the
gonna be.
formula to stop them.
Yeah. That is
To
okay.
stop that prick.
Oh, he's a prick now, huh?
Yeah, I don't like Giannis. You know, you should have like, I'm should have been fouled now. That game against
Oh
us.
man, yes, I know it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about something. I remember. I keep on forgetting to talk to you about this. We'll talk about this and then we'll call it a day.
All right.
Uh, what do you think about like the superstars getting the superstar treatment when it comes to getting calls? Do you think it's fair? Do you think that's meh? You don't give a damn or what?
When you say superstars getting calls, is it like them accepting the calls or them whining about why is this a foul? Where's the foul? Or is it?
No, getting called for a foul.
Yeah,
Sometimes
meaning-
they don't
yeah.
get it. Sometimes they get away with it.
Okay, so getting away with it, I think in the case of it's a case by case basis. Like James Harden gets away with a lot more than he should, but also at the other end of the spectrum, LeBron sometimes whines a lot about what he should get and what he shouldn't get. Sometimes LeBron, admittedly as a LeBron fan, you get to see like when he fouled. What did he whine about? What did he whine about that day? Was it Kawhi Leonard? And he got blocked by Kawhi, and then Kawhi was like all ball, but LeBron made that hand signal like, hey man, he touched my hand, he fouled me, clearly fouled. So in that case, it's different. So what I think about superstars and getting referee versus getting calls from referees, I think, man, when a game, referees cannot notice everything in a span of few seconds, milliseconds. So sometimes they miss, sometimes they don't. Sometimes superstars give them bias, man. That's what I think. I'll stick with that. Sometimes just because it's a superstar, referees might make a questionable decision.
Yeah, like they suck them off.
Yeah. That's to put it lightly. Yeah. So yeah, what do you think?
Here's what I think. You know, when we were doing our degree, right? We always look at case studies.
Oh, okay.
And we always look at that one case study, like the ideal case or whatever.
Right.
And then from there onwards, we always think about this and we use it for other case by case basis, whatever the hell it is. I think it applies for this as well. So your case is the superstar, and then you're applying it to a guy on the come up, let's say Jason Tatum. Now, you might think that because he's a superstar and he's on the come up, they fall on the same category. They're not. He's on the come up, dude. I mean, I get it. Like you're using a case study, he's already an established superstar, but you gotta be fair with these things. You cannot just use the superstar as always as the case study. They get away like with a lot of things, like as you said, James Harden. he averages like 16 free throws a game. That's not okay.
I swear, yeah.
That's abnormal, and no one's saying anything. Of course, the Houston Rockets are not saying anything. They're winning with that. That's right.
That's right.
I just don't like it, and at the same time, not that case study. You know, what case study do they use? All of them. So I don't know. This is how I think about like how there's just much of a shopping of them using the superstar treatment. I don't get why they have to use the superstar type treatment. Maybe they're paid more that way. I don't know. If that's the case, then isn't that bribery?
Oh, right. You know what? Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that bribery? Like, equivalent to bribery. Like, I might be wrong here. I'm just speculating.
It does seem like that. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not fair. I think.
Yeah. Okay, so what if, just to push this this debate further, if Jason Statham now compared to a guy like Giannis, right? Giannis is the superstar, Jason is the come up. In a few years down the line, when Jason is the superstar, how do you stand on this this debate?
Oh, I will be on the.
Yeah, see? So what do you call that?
I'll be glad. I will stop complaining.
Ah, man, okay. Because right now you might seem like it's the underdog thing, but yeah.
Like I would. I'm joking. I would.
Yeah.
Obviously, like if you support that team, it's hard to not put against it. Like you love LeBron.
Yeah.
Like imagine like we watching Lakers versus Celtics. I never doubted that you were not supporting LeBron. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Again, like you did not have like a second. Like, oh, let's go, Jalen Brown, let's go.
Yeah.
No, right.
You're right. Yes.
You're more happy of LeBron getting fouled by like a dumbass on my team than you fouling like a dumbass on my team.
It depends on the foul. If it was a dumbass foul, maybe I'll be like, hey, why did you do that, LeBron? Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So.
Yeah. Just like us, I mean, remember last finals when KD fell? It was a stupid thing to laugh, but we laughed because, we were happy he's out of the game. He's out of the finals.
He's out for he's out.
Like indefinitely. Yeah.
And next year's gonna be mad.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
Brooklyn will be. They might be top 3, you know.
Yeah.
In the East.
They're kind of sitting back right now, but yeah, after this season, GG, man.
I just feel bad for Atlanta. Maybe Trae Young should come to Boston.
Yeah. Everyone should come to Boston, really. Yeah. I think LeBron should retire in Boston Celtics green.
You know the Boston fans hate LeBron. Do you know that? I mean, you should know it.
Well, I do know that because he's in the Lakers, but any other reason?
Ever since he was in the Miami.
Oh, no. Yeah, you're right. Ever since he was in the Cavs, really, because he been...
Cavs, Miami, all this,
Yeah, he was a rival since Paul Pierce days in the Celtics. Yeah. Rondo, the big three, the big ticket, Rondo and Paul Pierce, Ray Allen even. And then Ray Allen betrayed their team and joined the Miami Heat.
He made the three that saved LeBron.
Yeah, man. Oh, man. I remember that. I remember where I was when that happened. Like, I literally in the living room. It was 4 a.m., 5 a.m. He hit that shot. I was like, man, this is going to be a good day.
And then the year after he lost.
Yeah. Well, we don't talk about that.
You don't talk about.
So I do know that Celtics and LeBron have
I'm joking.
yeah, no, I know, but they have a rough history. But what if he decides to sign with the Celtics? Will you accept? You know, it's gonna be no way it's gonna happen, but if it happens, wow.
I don't think LeBron. I think the Lakers will try. He will retire. I think.
Same.
I think he's gonna call it quits because next year will be 18, right? 18 years.
Yeah,
Almost 2 decades, man.
yeah. And honestly, I think it's best to, like Dwayne Wade say, quit while you're ahead. You don't wait till you drop off and then you decide to call it quits. Look at what happened to Vince Carter. At the end of the day, where he decides to play one more season, the season didn't even start. He's like, you know what, I'm out. And he decided to retire mid-corona before the season restart. He's like, okay, I think it's time for me to go. He didn't even play much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We see.
yeah.
Do you think he's a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, for Hall of Famer, man. He played in 4 different eras, from the 90s to the 2000s to the 2010s, now in 2020.
He never won MVP. Never got into the finals.
One of
Either
those-
conference.
Yeah. Oh, either conference. Sad, man. Deserved better, but what are you gonna do? Sometimes that's basketball. It's like so many people who.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
I think you're right. That's a harsh requirement. Then prerequisites for that. Yeah, if he gets in, then great.
Yeah.
If not, then
Yeah.
can be ripped.
It shows that you don't have to be a champion. You don't have to have a ring on your finger to be in the Hall of Fame. Allen Iverson.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he won MVP though.
Oh, yeah.
Even Charles Barkley as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
He won MVP.
Yeah, Vince Carter, just because he changed the game, I guess, because he's the godfather of dunks. Air Carter, Air Vince and all that. Vinsanity.
Like, I saw the debate in ESPN. Like the debate was, does Vince Carter deserve a statue in the in the Jurassic Park there in Toronto? I was like, I'm leaning towards maybe, but I don't know. I'm not sure what, because like when he was in Toronto, it was one of his best years.
It
Right?
was his best years. Yeah.
But might as well, like if he deserves a statue, it's at least there.
It's there. Yeah,
But-
man.
But that means Carmelo should get a statue. So and you got that's the case.
Wait, New York or Denver? Because Denver Melo was pretty dangerous, man.
New York too, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
No, I mean like was it better in Denver or?
I think he was a bit better in Denver, and he was on the same team with J.R. Smith. And imagine a team with Melo and J.R. together. They were doing a good 1-2 punch, man, when they were in Denver. But I think when they split to New York and wherever J.R. Smith went after that, it's a bit a solo act for Melo. But he did show that he can lead a team in New York. So, and he was from New York, Syracuse, New York. So if he got to have a statue, it's supposed to be there. Yeah.
So
All right. So we just crossed the 1 hour mark of the podcast. It's a good show today. NBA restart. Lots of games to cover. Lots more to come in the coming week, man. It's good. It's a good episode.
Thank you for watching,
All right.
listening.
Watching and listening, because now we have slideshows. All right. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Links will be down in the description. Subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.
This has been another episode of All the Way with A&A.
Brought to you by Azrin and Alfico. On to the next one. See you soon.